It doesn't have teleport. I'm sorry. Hey guys, Lucky here. And for those of you that are still here, I am really excited to share with you today my rune word that I get to reveal to you, courtesy of Blizzard. And I'm really excited about it because it is going to completely change how the assassin is played, and specifically the skill tree of martial arts. Now, let me show you what the rune word is. It's called Mosaic. Like I said, Mal, Gold, Thol, pretty reasonably priced. And let's go through the stats on the rune word. These can be made in any claw base, and we have a 25% chance for finishing moves to not consume charges. Now, this is the big one, and we'll come back to this. I just want to go over everything else that is on the claw that we see. +2 martial arts. This does not roll. This is always +2. 20% increased attack speed. That is another static mod. 236 ED. So currently this is a range of 200 to 250. And I think it's pretty important. I'll explain why in a bit. And then we have 20% bonus attack rating. That's what you get from your Gull. This is just the claw base. You get a Thulse for some cold damage, and prevent monster heal. That is from your Mal rune. Now, this can be made in a claw base that has plus skills to it. So for instance, a claw with +3 to Phoenix Strike, or any other plus skills that you would like to have on a martial arts assassin. You could potentially roll in a base like that, and you can choose your base for whatever you want. The 25% chance for finishing moves to not consume a charge is the big thing here. And there's confirmation received from Blizzard that this does in fact stack. So if you are using 2 of these claws, then you do in fact have a 50% chance to not consume your charge. Why is that important? Well, the only way for martial arts assassins to deal damage is to build up their charges and then use a finisher move to release all of those charges. And what happens is, after you release the charges, you have to build them back up. So what you're getting with 2 of these claws is a 50% chance to just continuously deal huge amounts of damage. Now, martial arts assassin doesn't really get played all that often, even though they are capable of achieving so much damage, because of this charge mechanic and having to constantly switch between your build-ups and your spend skill. Now, with this and a 50% chance, you are essentially increasing the damage or the effective clear speed by 50%. That's half of the time that you are going to have to spend charging up your skills, and instead just unleashing havoc on your enemies. Now, what do we have in the game now that compares, and why did the martial arts assassin specifically need help? So here are some of the other popular options for the martial arts assassin. Plague is a big one. Plague's another one you can make in a claw base. So imagine having, your dream base for martial arts. But what does Plague give you? It gives you 1 to 2 skills, but it costs a Cham rune. So it's a little bit more expensive than Mosaic. But you get the skills. You get a little bit of damage, but it's only to demons specifically. Lower res when struck is actually pretty nice, and cleansing aura is also really good, a good defensive skill. So you're getting similar plus skills on this, but you don't get increased attack speed, and you don't get, of course, the finishing moves not to consume, which is the big deal here. Also a 20% attack rating boost. This isn't nothing. The attack rating boost that you get from the Gull rune, you actually do need to connect to build up your charges and release, so it's important to have that attack rating on there. So Plague's one example of what we have now. I think the Mosaic clearly outshines it, not only for the stats, but the price. Bartucs, this is a really popular one. Bartucs is great. You get +3 martial arts in total. But you don't get the ability to choose your base. Now, for a unique claw like Bartucs, you can add a socket to it, and you could put anything else in there. You could put your shale and get your 20 attack speed that you have on Mosaic that comes built in. But what you're losing out on is, a little bit of damage. It's a little bit lower. You're losing out on some plus skills, and really the martial arts shine with plus skills. So that's how the majority of your damage is being dealt. For the next comparison, we have Fury. So Fury is a great damage dealing claw. And you may think, why do I need to deal damage with martial arts skills? It's mostly elemental. Actually, dealing a decent amount of damage is good for sustain. So you're going to want to have sustain built into your character. For any effective character, you don't want to be, drinking a bunch of potions all the time. So having this damage actually is really nice to have on a claw. Fury, I would say, more geared towards PvP with all the chance of opening wounds. Ignore target defense is really good for PVM, and the minus target defense that you get from the Eth rune, and ignore target defenses from your jaw. You get the bonus of attack rating too from your goal, but what you're losing out on is a lot of skills. So you can make this in a claw base that has your base skills, but you're not going to get the +2 martial arts, and you're going to be missing out on some plus skills that are really going to help scale the top end damage on your Fury. So the last comparison claw, which I think is most similar to this Runeword, is actually a claw that already exists in the game. I just created this in an editor program so you could see. It would be called Sensei's Greater Talons of Elasticity, or whatever. It gives the 20% increased attack speed mod. Sensei's gives you 2 martial arts. This is just a base where you can get +3 to some skills. So I have +3 to Phoenix Strike, Death Sentry because I think it's a good utility skill, and Dragonflight to help get around if you don't have Enigma, etc. And I just put a Gull and a Mal in it to get the Prevent Monster Heal and the attack rating boost. So I actually have a character file that you can download now to test out this claw. I wasn't able to create the exact Mosaic because it's adding an entirely new mechanic to the game. But I was able to make this, which I think is the closest thing that exists in the game currently. You're not going to have the damage, and that's going to be a bit of a problem. The Mosaic is going to give you a ton more damage with all that ED, and I'll show you why that's important. So get a little play in. So there are so many abilities that you have martial arts related in the game, and the ability to not have to use your finishers is really important. So here is just some gear I put together. This is the Phoenix Strike damage, and then you can actually add up charges from all of your synergies for Phoenix Strike as well. And the crazy thing is that you could build up all these charges, and then potentially when you're using your finishers, all of them are going to release at the same time and never and potentially, unleash multiple times on top of it. So why is that important? This was never a mechanic that you could have even done in the game before. And now you're just going to be absolutely one-shotting mobs in the game. And I've been having so much fun playing around with this and just absolutely shredding and melting everything I encounter. And this is without even having the ability to maintain my charges. So this is just playing around with martial arts. The screen just explodes when you release those finishers, and it's going to be even faster than what you're seeing on the screen now, because I don't have the ability to create the new, the new mechanic in the game. But once it's there and we're going to be able to test in the PTR, I think that's where we're really going to get to see how strong this build really is. Like it's shredding now with the claws that I think most closely resemble the Runeword in the game. And once we're getting that 50% chance to not consume our charges, it's actually going to be even faster. So like approximately 50% faster than it already is, which is crazy to think about because it's already doing insane amounts of damage. If you want, there's a lot of versatility in this build. So you can build it to choose your element of damage if you want to build up 2 or multiple different charges. For single target, you're going to want to be using like Fists of Fire potentially and Phoenix Strike. So for Diablo, we'll build up our Fists of Fire, build up our Phoenix Strike, and then just unleash. And you see how much damage that's doing. Imagine that, but you only have to build them up once ever, and then you absolutely just melt from there on. The one caveat I would say is that this Phoenix, like these martial arts skills are very graphic intensive, and it's sometimes hard to tell when you have your charges on. So I'd really love to see, with this focus on martial arts in 2.6, an ability to track your charges easier than having to look at yourself. Because you saw all the procs that we get. Like, I can't even see what charges are on my character sometimes, which isn't great. It's nice to know that they're not being consumed all the time, but I would love for some sort of counter on the screen that shows exactly how many charges of each skill I have at all times. So then I can maintain my resources and know how often I need to charge those skills back up so that I am maintaining, my max DPS. I think that would be my only thing that I would have added, to this Runeword and to Assassins and even some other classes in 2.6. I think it would go a long way. It would really help for min-maxing this build, and I'm really excited to test out martial arts. So if you're still here, if you don't know, my whole YouTube channel and my whole content creation career started with a video about a martial arts assassin. Assassins are my favorite character. I am super excited that I got this Runeword to reveal, and I can guarantee you that I'm going to be playing this in the beta. I'm going to be testing it out still in single player, and I'm going to try to make the most of this claw and see what we can achieve with a martial arts assassin in 2.6. I really want to know your guys' feedback on the claw. Blizzard is open to feedback, and that's what the point of the PTR is, and they're open to changing and modifying this based on the feedback that we give. So let me know in the comments. Check me out on Twitch, where you can have live discussion today and talk about this claw. I really just want to know what you all think. I'm really excited about it, and I hope you are too. Thanks, guys. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.